yeah, how do we use circuit with external gear? Well, it's really straightforward. I'm a big fan of using hardware, and I've got quite a nice little collection of synthesizers here in the room. So let me just see what we've got here. So I've got my circuit, and I'm using a little mini jack MIDI connection here, and that is coming from the MIDI output on the back of circuit. And that is then feeding into my circuit mono station, which you can see just tucked away up here at the top. In fact, if I just bring this down, you'll be able to see it. There it is. There's the mono station, a wonderful little beast. And that is now passing its MIDI through to there. So if I press a note here on my circuit, you can see there it's actually lighting the note up here as well. And that's because my circuit synth 1 is connected to MIDI channel 1. And MIDI channel 1 is going over to the mono station, which is receiving on MIDI channel 1. And yeah, and basically I'm able to play this synthesizer directly from. There it is. And if I bring the volume down now on my thing here, and go back. Okay, so you can now see that I'm actually playing the bass, not the bass station, sorry, the mono station. From circuit. So there's one MIDI connection made. Great. The MIDI signal is then being passed on from the circuit monostation and actually is going over here now into the input on this wonderful instrument made by some friends over in Greece, the Dreadbox team. This is the Abyss synth, a really nice 4-voice poly instrument. Now I've set this to work on MIDI channel 2. So if I try and play on MIDI channel 1, it's not going to play the Abyss synth. But if I go to MIDI to synth 2, and then let me just bring the volume down now of my internal synths here. So there. You can hear now, I can play this synthesizer from synth 2. So synth 1 can, if I wanted to, I mean in this instance I wouldn't necessarily do it because the circuit monostation has got a fantastic sequencer inbuilt anyway, but I could play that instrument from here, and then synth 2, I can then use the Abyss. And in actual fact, I've got my other little genius little box made by another mate actually, guy Tony over in Milan, the Lep Loop. This is a wonderful little device. This is also set to MIDI channel 1. So I'll bring down the volume of the circuit monostation. I shall bring up the volume of the oscillator here on the Lep Loop. And let's see, get the volume up there. So I can now sequence my Lep Loop directly from the circuit as well. So it's a really nice little combination here. I've got sort of two things that I could sequence with synth 1 and synth 2. That's going directly to the Abyss. But this brings me to a nice little thing that I really, really enjoy doing on the circuit. And this is a bit of a ninja trick, really, I guess. So the circuit has the sequencer at the bottom here, but this can actually be a really powerful little chord bank, if you like. And so what we can do is you just build up some chords. So let's just say on this step, there we go. Got a nice chord there. Let's get another chord on. Just get that delay down a touch. Okay, let's go for another one. And then maybe another. And then finally, no, go for a B flat. A fine key. So what we've got now is basically a series of chords. So I can just basically play some quite unusual chords here without worrying too much about how to play them because they're already in place on me. Now, another great thing that we can do here is we can use that to actually record into our sequences. Now I'm going to go to the patterns page here. We have 8 patterns per instrument. So for drum 1 and 2 we have 8 patterns, drum 3 and 4 we have 8 patterns, synth 2, synth 1 we have 8 patterns. So let me just make synth 2 8 patterns long. At the minute we just have these, and if I hit play, okay, you'll just hear those, and then that's that. So let's just build a quick beat as well. Again, very quickly, just put something together, and then okay, and then something like this. Okay, very basic beat, but that's fine. Now the point is, I'm going to now mute this. This is quite an important step here. So I've muted synth 2. Now by doing that, if I hit play, you can't hear synth 2, that's fine. However, I can still play the chords. Now, one of the things on circuit is that when I hit play, you'll see when it moves to the next pattern, it directly, it follows the sequence. But if I start and hold down this switch here, okay, when we get to the end of this pattern, this page is still held. And now I have 8 patterns here that are running through, and of course I've lost my pattern now because I've just switched the page, but when we go back to the first pattern, 3, 4, okay, I'll hold that, count 2, 3, 4, and now the last 4 bars, okay, now we can unmute that, and then when I get to the relevant place, so there it is. Okay, so let's just do that, and now we've chained the bottom 4 patterns together, and what we've done is we've basically taken the chords here, and I've just created a little sequence now based around 4 bars. So we've used the circuit there as a really nice little chord bank to basically just quite easily put in a whole chord progression. And as I say, the trick is here, mute the synth. Let's just go back to our top patterns here. Hold the button down, and as you hit play, because we're holding this button, it's not going to let me past this sequence, and then I can so let's see, let's go for that. So you can see how we can use the circuit there as a really nice little chord bank as well. And I think that's a really nice thing.